It's down to the wire in Washington as a government shutdown looms. Hear what Oklahoma lawmakers are saying. Plus, OU's food pantry is hosting the 3rd annual Red River Food Fight. We'll tell you how to get involved. And President Trump meets with the Israeli Prime Minister. Hear the new peace agreement to end the war in Gaza. This is OU Nightly. A government shutdown looms over Washington. Thanks for watching OU Nightly. I'm Emma McAndrews.
And I'm Kevin Daniel. Lawmakers are racing to strike a deal as the federal funding deadline approaches. CNN's Karen Kaifa has the latest on the shutdown countdown.
White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt Monday ahead of a scheduled meeting between President Donald Trump and congressional leaders from both parties that Trump postponed last week.
We want the government to stay open. The president is giving Democrats one last chance to be reasonable today.
Despite Republicans controlling both chambers of Congress, Democrats do have some leverage in the Senate, where Republicans hold 53 seats but need 60 votes to clear a measure. Democrats are demanding an extension of Affordable Care Act health care subsidies for millions of Americans set to expire at the end of the calendar year in exchange for their support.
We've said from the beginning that we're willing to find a bipartisan path forward, and our line in the sand is the bill has to help everyday Americans, not hurt everyday Americans.
Republican leaders say that debate can wait.
You don't hold the people hostage for their services to allow yourself political cover, and that's what Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries are doing right now.
Democrats say Republicans had plenty of time to negotiate with them before this week.
They have the White House, the House, and the Senate. They've had plenty of months to put forward legislation where they could work with us to get this passed. They waited till the very last minute.
Meanwhile, in an effort to further pressure Democrats, the White House Budget Office has directed federal agencies to draw up plans for potentially permanent cuts to the federal workforce if the government shuts down this week. In Washington, I'm Karen Kaifa.
Oklahoma's 2 senators took to X today, sounding the alarm on how a shutdown could impact Oklahomans. Senator Mullen placing blame on congressional Democrats, saying a shutdown would harm rural hospitals across the nation. Senator Lankford took a more middle ground approach, not blaming Democrats, instead attacking shutdowns as a whole. He pointed to an act he wrote that would prevent government shutdowns altogether. You know, Emma, it's really sunny outside. It feels like it just keeps getting warmer and warmer.
I know, I'm ready for the cool down. Let's head over to OU Nightly's meteorologist, Scotty Allen. Scotty, are we going to be cooling down anytime soon?
No, it doesn't seem like that cool down is coming anytime soon. Right now, we're sitting here in the mid to low 80s for most of the metro, and same thing for most of the state. We're sitting in those high 80s for here in eastern Oklahoma and low 80s, so that plenty of sunshine. It's pretty warm out there, and also been dry to the end of the September. That we actually have some moderate to abnormal drought starting in southwestern and central Oklahoma. Is that drought going to be sticking around? Well, we got that dry end to September, and there's going to be a warm start to October. Back to y'all at the desk.
Thanks, Scotty. Oklahoma Attorney General Gettner Drummer reached a settlement with a charity fundraising organization he calls Deceptive. Oklahoma joins the Federal Trade Commission and 19 other states on reaching a settlement that places restrictions on Cars R Us and its operations. Cars R Us raised $45 million to assist with making cancer screenings more affordable. In reality, Drummond says the organization only donated a sliver of their earnings.
President Donald Trump and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu agreed to a peace deal to end the war in Gaza, but Hamas has to accept the terms. OU Nightly's Caroline Kramer has that and the rest of today's international and national headlines from the News Center. Caroline?
Yes, Kevin. President Donald Trump is laying out a 20-point plan to end the Israel-Hamas war. The plan calls for all hostages to be released by Hamas. Trump says Israel would have the full backing of the United States to take steps to defeat Hamas if it does not accept the proposed peace deal.
To ensure the success of this effort, my plan calls for the creation of a new international oversight body, the Board of Peace, we call it, the Board of Peace, sort of a beautiful name.
At this time, it is unclear if Hamas will accept the terms. The president says he's sending troops to Portland, Oregon to protect immigration and customs enforcement facilities that he claims are under siege. According to a memo from the Defense Department, 200 National Guard troops have been placed under federal control. Portland leaders disagree with this, calling the presence of federal agents an overreach. Appearing in court for the first time today, the man accused of shooting and killing conservative activist Charlie Kirk. Tyler Robinson did not enter a plea during today's hearing. Robinson's legal counsel wants a preliminary hearing that when the judge will determine if there is enough evidence to move forward with a trial. Prosecutors have charged Robinson with aggravated murder, and they plan to seek the death penalty. Emma, Kevin.
Thanks, Caroline. Many of President Trump's tariffs are expected to take effect in the coming days. Find out what household products will be impacted the most.
And the gridiron isn't the only place the Sooners face the Longhorns. Hear how you can make an impact on this rivalry. Next on OU Nightly. The president says new tariffs are going into effect this week. How this could affect your wallet? OU Nightly's Madison Dealey has the answer in today's Money Matters.
The price of medicine, home goods, and heavy trucks are all supposed to go up if the president's tariffs go into effect Wednesday. Cabinets and vanities are expecting a 50% tariff increase, a 30% increase on furniture, and a 25% increase on heavy trucks, and a 100% tariff increase on some brand name pharmaceutical drugs. In addition to those upcoming tariffs, President Trump says tariffs are also hitting the big screens. In a social media post, the president announced plans to impose a 100% tariff on foreign movies. This would be the first time Trump threatened to place a tariff on a service instead of a raw good. In a $55 billion deal, video game giant Electronic Arts is going private. It's a deal funded by Saudi Arabia and an investment firm backed by the President Trump's son-in-law, Jared Kushner. Electronic Arts is behind the deal. The deal is expected to close in the first quarter of the fiscal year 2027. And Monopoly is returning to McDonald's October 6th. Look for the game pieces to redeem for free food. Emma, Kevin.
Thanks, Madison. It's almost that time again as OU football heads down to the Lone Star State for their annual matchup versus Texas. But here in the Sooner State, OU students are already beating Texas and could be winners before they even head south.
It's a rivalry in more ways than one, and the OU Food Pantry is going for a three-peat in the Red River food fight to help put an end to food insecurity here on campus.
It's a great competition to bring both fan bases together around a very heated rivalry game that we can support both our college food pantries in the fight against food insecurity.
The OU Food Pantry collects donations year-round for OU students, faculty, and staff, but during the food fight, every pound matters.
So the competition is by pounds, and thankfully we've got a great start against Texas as we're trying to wrap this thing up. We just don't want to let our guard down over this final week.
The OU Food Pantry says they have met their 5,000-pound goal the last 2 years, but this year they want to exceed it.
I'd like to exceed the 5,000 mark. I think that would be a huge win for this year, just to know that we're doing better than last. And again, it makes a huge difference.
But there's only one way to meet that goal.
We still need all the support. So I need Sooner Nation to show up, bring heavy can items. Heavy can items. That would be awesome.
Shelf-stable and food-safe donations can be dropped off at the pantry or sent through their Amazon wish list. And of course, the rivalry adds a little motivation.
Let's beat Texas.
The Red River Food Fight ends on Saturday, and you can find the pantry's donation hours and Amazon wish list link on the website at ou.edu/foodpantry.
Coming up, an unexpected threat for Oklahoma drivers is about to start popping up on the roadways.
Hear how you can stay safe on the road when danger comes out of the blue.
Is fall going to return? I'll have the details coming up in my forecast. Welcome back to OU Nightly. We got some clouds in the sky. We got those hazy conditions there. Well, that's because we got some air quality there. And we got 85 right now. It's feeling pretty good. We got some low dew points there, so it's feeling nice out there. But that air quality causing that haze, well, we got some moderate air quality here in the metro and southeastern Oklahoma, a little bit higher there. And as we go through these next few days, it's going to be kind of ramping up a little bit as we got these. We're going to be kind of dry and hot and all of that kind of ramps up more there down in southwestern by Lawton here around the metro. We've got those higher moderates. So we got a little bit of air quality out there, maybe causing those hazy conditions. So what's causing that? Well, that's because we've got a ridge over here in central Colorado, kind of just going to be sitting here over central U.S., causing dry. And we're going to be really warm right now. So we got these warm conditions there, but we also got some hurricanes down there to the southeast. Are they going to be hitting the U.S.? Nope, they're going to be going out to sea there. So we're going to be having no rain really here for most of the U.S. Here in Oklahoma, no showers really going to be lingering there. It's just going to be some warm couple days for these next few days. Going to be kind of just dry there and continuing on through Thursday into Friday. Just going to be a nice dry week. But with these dry, warm conditions, we've got those allergies ramping back up. We've got high grass, high weed, high mold allergies, and trees are starting to come back up. Just last week, those trees were down to a minimum. Now they're kind of up there to the medium. So we got allergies all across there. So if you got those sniffles, that's why these conditions. And really, we haven't had relief for those allergies because typically the rain will come in and kind of get rid of that pollen, but it hasn't because we've only had about a ½ inch for September. And really, normally we get about 3.5 inches. So that's 3 inches short of the average. So we've just been dry there. The drought conditions are starting to come back in, and we're looking here for the next 6 to 10 days. We've got that below average temperature up to the northwest, so maybe we'll have some relief in about 2 weeks or so, as typically those patterns will have those low pressure systems come over, cool us down. But right now, for the next week or so, we're going to be in these above average in that ridge pattern. So coming back here to Norman, though, we're going to be having the forecast for here for tomorrow. We're going to be starting off in the 60s around 6 a.m. in the early morning hours, but then we're going to be warming back up into those mid 80s. So it's going to be a nice warm day out there, sunshine and all of that to get out there and get away from your studies. And then as we look here for the 7-day forecast, going to be pretty much just the same old 80s, high 80s for most of the week and lows in the 60s, and plenty of sunshine and plenty of time to go out there and have some outdoor activities. It's going to be a nice week to really get outside.
Looks like it's going to be pretty good for game day as well. I'm definitely looking forward to being back out and watching the Sooners. How about y'all?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm still not exactly thrilled about all that pollen that you brought up, especially with the air quality.
The allergies, I can really feel it in my throat.
Absolutely.
I know, I've definitely been feeling it, so I need some relief. I'm taking my medicine, guys. Don't worry. I'll be okay. But thank you so much, Scotty. Oklahoma is approaching deer mating season in the coming months. Driver safety is going to come in handy. OU Nightly's Allie Proctor spoke to officers about how to avoid a crash during this time of year.
Deer mating season doesn't occur until mid-October, but officials say thousands of car accidents occur every year.
So the main months that we have the majority of our deer car crashes are going to be like October, November, December, when the deer are moving in what we call the rut. And at that time, they can move at all times of the day.
There are over 800 involved deer car crashes in Oklahoma, with 5 reported deaths and over 200 people injured. These accidents are more common on rural roads and highways, which is what happened with Freddie Lewis.
Between Chandler and Arcadia, we were doing about 70, 75 miles an hour, and a deer just walks out right in front of us. She slams on the brakes. We hit the deer flies over the hood, off to the side, tears the side view mirror off.
These are scary moments, but there is a safe way to drive on these roads.
I always encourage defensive driving, and what defensive driving means is putting down your cell phone, paying attention to what's going on in front of you. I'd say the most important thing is whatever it is, whether it be a deer or a raccoon or a squirrel, just drive through it.
My head is on a swivel now. And when I get in wooded areas, I'm still leery of deer come shooting out. So.
No one wants to hurt an animal, but it is important to prioritize safety and defensive driving. I'm Allie Proctor in Norman, OU Nightly.
Definitely stay safe on those roads. Thank you, Allie. Sooners volleyball and tennis hit the courts hard over the weekend.
Plus, a former Sooner Heisman winner and runner-up went at it on Sunday.
Brent Venables' defense doesn't look like it's going away anytime soon with a new addition. In the meantime, Oklahoma looks to give fans a blast from the past against Kent State this weekend. All that and more up next in sports. Hello, I'm Chris Holman, and it's time for sports. 40 years later, and the 1985 national champions Sooners are headed back to the Palace this Saturday. Former head coach Barry Switzer and many of his players will be honored on Owen Field at halftime. Speaking of legendary Sooner squads, the Sooners will be looking like one this weekend. OU football announced that they will be wearing their throwback uniforms against Kent State on Saturday. The last time those uniforms were worn, the Sooners beat Houston 16-12. And via social media, four-star cornerback Mikhail McCreary announced that he's committing to Oklahoma today. The junior is now the 5th member of OU's 2027 commit class, and 24/7 Sports has him rated as the number 28 overall player in the state of Texas. After leading both of their teams to 3-0 starts, former Oklahoma quarterbacks Jalen Hurts and Baker Mayfield squared off this weekend in the NFL. Hurts' Eagles jumped to an early 24-6 lead at the half, but Baker and the Buccaneers came charging back, cutting Philadelphia's lead to 8. But Mayfield would go on to throw his first interception of the season, killing all of Tampa Bay's momentum. Eagles win 31-25. CBS Sports and the New York Times report that former Sooner pass rusher Obo Okoronkwo is believed to have suffered a season-ending triceps tear in the Eagles game against the Buccaneers on Sunday. That game marked Okoronkwo's first appearance as an Eagle. As most of you Sooner fans know, Oklahoma's star quarterback John Mateer broke a bone in his throwing hand against Auburn and flew out to Los Angeles to get operated on by Dr. Stephen Shin, who has worked on the likes of Drew Brees, Steph Curry, and Oklahoma City Thunder star Jalen Williams. At Thunder Media Day today, Williams was asked about Dr. Shin and said, quote, "He did Kobe's, all you need to know. He's awesome," referring to a previous surgery. OU volleyball took to the court twice this weekend. They took on the LSU Tigers on Friday, defeating them in straight sets, then fell to Ole Miss in a 5-set thriller on Sunday. Head coach Aaron Mansfield knows that 5th set is an area that the Sooners have to improve in.
We haven't played a whole lot of 5-setters, so it's a good experience for us. We did not execute well at all in the 5th set, so hopefully in those moments when things get tight, we can be a little bit better. But SEC is a really tough conference, and we know that we're going to play a lot of teams that are very evenly matched.
Speaking of OU women's sports, OU soccer hosted South Carolina on Sunday, looking for their 9th win of the season. But the Sooners ultimately fell to the Gamecocks 2-0, snapping their 8-game home win streak. OU women's tennis took to the courts this weekend in Cary, North Carolina for the ITA All-American Championships, where sophomore Roisin Gilhini and freshman Gloriana Nahum finished as runner-ups in the doubles draw. Kevin, Emma.
Thanks, Chris. Whether it be the start of the day or in preparation for a long night ahead, coffee is a staple of many Americans' routines.
Yeah, find out where you can get the best deal on your late night pick-me-up next on OU Nightly.
I'm Lyndon Potter at the OU Nightly Update Desk. Governor Kevin Stitt says over 125 illegal immigrants have been arrested. In a program called Operation Guardian, ICE agents and Oklahoma Highway Patrol troopers conducted a targeted enforcement action along I-40. Authorities say they encountered commercial driver's license driver's license given in sanctuary states. One of those licenses came from New York and used no name given as a name. Emma, Kevin?
Thanks, Lyndon. If you need that extra boost of energy today, your favorite coffee chain may have you covered.
That's right. Today is National Coffee Day. Many of the popular chains like Dunkin' and Scooters are offering special deals for rewards members and through their apps. However, locally, Beanstalk in Norman offers customers a free small coffee at any of its locations, including their brand new Campus Corner location. Now, Scotty, you kind of talked about it earlier. This seemingly unpredictable Oklahoma weather is seeming more predictable.
Yeah, no, it's looking really predictable right now for the next week or so. It's going to be in the high 80s, 89 there Thursday and Friday, and it looks to be a nice weekend for football on Saturday for highs in 88. So yeah, it's pretty predictable for the next week or so.
Thanks, Scotty. And thank you for watching OU Nightly. I'm Emma McAndrews.
And I'm Kevin Daniel. Be sure to watch OU Nightly live weekdays at 4:30. Good night. And we'll end you today on a little shot of the duck pond as some ducks are swimming around.
They're definitely, I wish I could be in the water right now. They
Absolutely.
look
a
like
wonderful
they're
day
having fun.
for it.